Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you guys have not been here before, thank you so much for clicking on this video and hanging out with me. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my journey to growing my graphic design business, and also I have quite a few tips on how to grow a graphic design business, where to find clients, how to handle clients, and overall how to grow your design company. I cherish all the experiences I went through to get to where I am because it truly has helped me grow. It made me learn so much, and it truly showed me what I do want in my career and in my life. Okay guys, my number one tip when it comes to growing your design business is to start off flexible. I think that a lot of us have this ideal amount of income or an ideal amount of clients we want to get, and we sort of start off, we jump out of the gates very analytical and logical, when really you need to just be so flexible. Because there have been many times in the very beginning where I had clients come to me with a very small budget, or maybe a quick timeline, or they just had some rules and stuff that I wasn't expecting. But the biggest thing that I remember that I was extremely flexible. I was always adherent to the timelines, and I definitely worked with people's budgets in the beginning, which I think you have to do. I think that when you're really starting off and trying to build your portfolio and get your name out there and make connections, that being flexible is key. And that really helped me build relationships where they can trust me and they really respect the fact that since I'm new and I'm learning, that I'm willing to work with them no matter what. And that is something I recommend only when starting off. When you really start to build your brand and start to get more clients, and you can get a little bit more picky and everything like that, but starting off flexible is definitely something I highly recommend. My second tip is to establish your personal style and to really brand yourself. And I truly feel like this comes with time, but in the very beginning for me, I wasn't super aware of that, and I think that if I was more aware of that, it would have saved me a lot of time, because I didn't truly know the style that I like to stick within, even though we all have a specific style. Every single one of us that designs has a very unique little touch to everything. So I wasn't ever really aware of my little touch on designs, but it wasn't until I really started to get more comfortable with designing and more clients that I truly started to see that I am very minimalist. I like neutral colors, and I like to stick to kind of serif and sans serif fonts. I don't really like a whole lot of script. Those kind of things I definitely learned over time, but if you can do that in the very beginning and figure out what kind of style that you sort of are attracted to, it will not only help you when you have a client that comes to you and gives you complete freedom. You will have something in your mind that you already really feel comfortable with and like the look of, and always looks really polished and nice. So I think it would have saved me some time when it came to those clients that had no idea where to start, and it would have helped me have a good starting point and build a really beautiful portfolio with items that are projects that really kind of flow together and have that signature mark of me on it. And I really feel like you can find your style by sitting down and actually creating your own personal logo and really working on your personal authentic brand. Because to be honest, it's not just a logo, it's not just a color palette. It has to do with you and your entire presence in life. My logo represents how I show up and how people view me, and if people were to describe me in words, then I really want that to reflect in my colors and my brand and my aesthetic and everything. So I hope that makes sense, but I truly feel like when you find your personal style, it saves you a lot of time when helping clients, and it kind of helps guide them into what looks really nice. Plus, when you do have your specific style, it definitely gets a lot more valuable. And I feel like people can't really take your design and copy it because it's so you, and it fits your style so well that clients will pay a lot just to get your little touch on it. So definitely figure out your brand, sit down with your own brand, and focus on your personal brand. How many times can I say brand? Oh my god. But focus on your personal aesthetic, and it'll help you with everyone else's aesthetic. I promise you that. So my next tip is to really remember that word of mouth is such a thing. Honestly, I think 90% of my business now is word of mouth, and I really definitely pride myself on the fact that I am good at building relationships with my clients, and I never ever leave on a bad note. I think that, especially living in sort of a smaller city, that leaving on a bad note would probably get around pretty quickly. But no matter where you are in the world, I think it's really important to show up positive no matter what, and be understanding and sort of flexible, but also sticking to your values and being respected. But word of mouth is seriously so important, and for me, I have really made it a point to make sure my clients are really happy, that they have everything they need, and that I'm not like constantly upselling them on everything, but just really presenting yourself as professional, and sticking to timelines, and being very like quick to emails, just being your very best self. And this is what the corporate company taught me, is to be very punctual and to reply to emails no matter what. Like, always reply, make sure they know that you are there and you are there for them to help, and build those relationships, because word of mouth gets around. And even if they're not local, they might have a friend in like New York or something that needs a design, and they could just send your name to them. So word of mouth can travel all over the world, but that will only happen if you focus on building a really good relationship with your client, and if you do really good work. My last tip is sort of a term I just coined the other day, but you basically have to become a design therapist. And basically what I mean by that is, when you are a designer, or even if you're just a marketing expert or a social media manager, you are technically a psychologist. You're technically a therapist, because you are basically trying to figure out the ins and outs of who you are trying to express. So let's say, for example, I am designing for a salon, someone who just opened a brand new salon, and there's so many salons out there. I could do a cookie cutter logo of scissors and hair, but is that really expressing who this person behind the salon is? Probably not. So what I mean by becoming a therapist is, on that initial call you have with them, you are literally listening to how they're showing up, how confident they are, and overall just the tone of their voice. Are they soothing? Are they very bold? You can also be looking at, if you're in person, their style, what they're wearing. Like, every little detail you can dig up about them is going to help you in the design process, and also in the branding process, because like I said, it's not just a color, it's not just a mark, it has to do with how that is being, or how that makes the person feel when they're looking at it. So you are getting into the nitty-gritty of how that person makes you feel, and how you want their logo and everything to make others feel. So you are definitely learning every little piece of that client, and what they do on the weekends. Like, all of that will help you when it comes to the designing process. So don't be afraid to, open the conversation up to something random, like, what's your favorite breakfast? What's your favorite kind of food? Like, learn everything you need to know about that client, learn what they're attracted to, and that'll help you so much. And honestly, they will probably respect the fact that you even care to ask, and that you are actually listening, because there is a difference between asking and listening. If you're truly listening and taking it in and building that relationship with the client, and opening that relationship to conversations that are outside of, the actual design, then you will build a beautiful friendship and a relationship that will last a lot longer than just a quick logo and moving on. So don't be afraid to become sort of a design therapist. So yeah. And I also think it's important to note that I am still going through experiences every single day to become the best business owner I could be. But don't be afraid to take that leap and take that corporate job, but knowing in the back of your head that there's something better coming. Because no matter where you are in your life, you're gonna learn a valuable lesson. If you're at a place that you just are not loving, at least you learned that that is not something that you want to be doing. So I think that taking every experience and treating it as a learning process and being open to learning and everything like that will allow you to grow so much. And it's definitely helped me grow, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I hope that you got something out of it. If you have any other questions, please leave them down below and I will answer them as the best I can. And I had so much coffee, so I'm talking real fast today, but I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, I would appreciate it so much if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.